Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Tawnya Love Show. I hope everyone is doing fabulous this nice sunny Sunday, and hope you all had a great week since I've seen you last time. I'm going to share a phone number because we have a few guests that are going to be calling in today, and we're going to do an interview a little different than normal where they won't be on Skype, but we'll be able to hear them. And so the phone number to call in is 919-518-9773. And today, it was kind of a magical thing that happened, which when we're being called into the service of the light and humanity, this is how it works. It's very magical and synchronistic. And what happened was, I think it was about a week ago, I was in meditation and I was just having this nice blissful time with my spirit guides, with my angels and connecting. And what my angels told me was that they were encouraging me to share with everyone on the show and on Facebook and all the ways that I connect to encourage humans to take healing crystals and to go to the water and to infuse an intention of healing and purification into the crystals and then give them back to the earth. So it's kind of like, in a sense, we are gifting back to the earth. We took the crystals from the earth and we're giving them back. But crystals carry frequencies and they can carry energy transmissions. And so the intention is to take whatever crystal you intuitively feel led and to set an intention from the heart to help purify all the veins of the water, the bodies of water on the planet. And so when I see it as a healer, just like when I'm tuning into a human and we have all the veins in our body that are carrying the blood through our body to support us, that life force, and if that becomes toxified, we end up getting sickness and disease. And on the planet, it's very much mirroring this. Like a lot of humans are not feeling good, they're feeling sick, and there's too much toxins. And then the planet also having so many things happening to the water lately. It's calling us to give back and to connect. And so it's not really anything complicated. You just want to come from the heart, and you can physically go to the water and place a crystal in it, setting an intention for purification and wholeness. What I also added when my family and I went and did this last week is we went to the water, and I also added the intention that all those who drink from the bodies of the water on the planet will be awakened, and that their consciousness will be shifted into a higher frequency and a higher consciousness, higher vibration. So it's a really powerful thing we can do. And I could go and do a whole show on how powerful we are when we're in alignment with our source. I know many of you have heard of this awesome guy named Christ who once came to the planet, and he was very confident in his abilities to say there is going to be plenty of food, or this person will get up and walk, and I'm going to walk on that water. And one of the things that I teach a lot of my workshops is that kind of confidence. Like the Empowering Empath mentorships that I lead are all about reclaiming our power, coming back into the oneness with our divinity. And so if we're looking at things as we're hopeless and this, the planet's in a state and we're like, oh, it's just going to go to hell, doom and gloom, the world's ending, we're basically participating in that consciousness with that attitude. But if we take our power back and we connect from the heart and from love, and we remember the infinite power of our love and how much, amazing, awesome miracles can happen from that confidence and that alignment with our source, I have no doubt in my mind, body, or soul that we can shift things on this planet. And I know that that is why all this magic is happening, is because that's what we're here to do. And so I know sometimes people, they get kind of caught up in all the fear and all the darkness. But this whole campaign that I'm going to be interviewing Doug Brown today, he's doing this campaign of Touch the Water. And the whole intention behind this is very heart-centered, and it's very much to help heal the planet. And what was very synchronistic is that right when I had that meditation, I go to put that, I was talking about going and putting crystals in the water on Facebook, and I get a friend request from Doug Brown, who I didn't know who he was. And so I added him and said, sure, I'll be your friend. And so he ends up writing to me, and he's like, Tawnya, I would like to talk to you about this Touch the Water campaign that I am feeling guided from the heart to do. And could you help me in any way? Would you be able to possibly tell your people that listen to you? Could we possibly even do an interview? Well, actually, I think I volunteered the interview today. But what was amazing is that it was all synchronistic. And I knew when I chatted with him, okay, this is the universe talking. And the intention that I was just given from my guides to help with, now he's coming in and he's also reaching out. And so today's show is completely heart centered, and it's all about serving humanity and realizing that we each as individuals have a lot of power. And when we connect and unite that energy together, it is very powerful and it's infinitely vast. So that's our intention, is to get every one of you listening to go out and connect with the water. And I'm going to see if Doug, did he call in yet, Amnon?
Yes, he's here. I
I
guess
had a feeling.
that's him.
Okay.
Doug.
So I'm going to chat with Doug here, and then we will kind of connect on all this. So how are you doing, Doug?
I'm doing good. Yourself? Can you hear me all right?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
All right.
So, yeah, I was just telling everybody how we kind of synchronistically met, how Spirit brought us together. And so do you want to share? Like, what would you like to say? And we'll just get the conversation flowing.
Honestly, I have no idea what to say, be honest with you. I got to tell you, I started this process just to put the idea out there and let it go. But it turned out that Sierra was right, and I kind of needed to be involved. So here I am. I never expected it to go where it is, and I found you just in my searching through Facebook, like I found everybody else.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. You know, like you said, though, things happen for a reason, and people are guided together for a reason. I fully believe that.
Yes. So I kind of explained, you know, what I was shown was to put crystals, and even if people don't have a physical crystal, they don't have to put a crystal. You could, a lot of the workshops I teach, I'll explain to people that the tools don't have the power. It's our intention that has the power. And so even if you just want to set that intention to call in a frequency of a crystal and just go, like Doug said, and go touch the water. If you can't physically get to water, like you live way inland and there's no water nearby, you're in the desert or something, just go into meditation and visualize the bodies of water on the planet and how you're sending your love and your light to support those bodies of water in being purified. And that will have just as much power. So in case any of you feel like, oh, I can't make it, or I'm busy that day, the intention that Doug has is to have this day where we all go and consciously connect with the water, and it's this coming Thursday. And so if you guys can all join us, that would be awesome. And if you can't get to water, like I said, just spend a few minutes in meditation and connecting with the planet vibrationally with the same intention, and let's see how powerful our energies can absolutely be when we ignite them.
You know,
so
you exactly just helped me out there in so many ways, because you helped me make a perfect point. The reason I wanted the idea to be organic and not my intentions behind it, just gratitude, because I want people to show their love in their way. You're talking about crystals. That's something that's new to me. It sounds like it makes a lot of sense, but it's new to me. It's probably new to a lot of people. So I wanted
it isn't necessary.
Well, to some people it may be, and I love them for that. I think people should show their love the way it comes naturally. And I didn't want to put my intentions on their love, so to speak. So you will do it with your crystals, and I think that's great. Other people won't, and I think that's great too. I just think the more people we get together, the better we can connect, and the more love we can start spreading around this world.
Yes, absolutely agree.
I'm a simple man. Now, you want to hear the better part of it, you need to talk to Sierra. She's smarter about that stuff than me.
Well, and like we're saying, I think the intention's the same, and it's just what my guides were saying to me personally. But basically, any of us can make a difference, and if we all join our intentions together, we could today do this as a healing connection with the planet. In fact, before I did the show today, I always meditate before my show, and I was actually connecting with the planet and just sending healing energy. And I do this all the time, and I know a lot of my very spiritually aligned friends, they do that as well in their meditations. And so this could be just, even the show is just kind of bringing awareness to everyone that if all that happens today is that you think of, I actually have power in this world and I actually can make a difference through my intention and through my focus, then I feel like it's a successful show.
And that,
I think the last, what was that?
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I was just gonna say, a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, I've mentioned the movie Tomorrowland, and I highly recommend you guys go see that film if you get a chance. And where we are, it's like at the $3 movies now. But the point in that show that was so beautiful is a lot about the planet and the state the Earth was in. And one of the stories was about there's two wolves, and you choose which wolf to feed. You feed the wolf of doom and gloom and darkness, or you feed the wolf of love and hope. And so, what my intention is as a healer and a speaker is just to help humans realize that we're all powerful creators. And whether you're conscious of that or not is another thing, but we're all powerfully creating every moment with every thought. And so, if we can all consciously start to kind of rein our thoughts and kind of focus them like laser beam focus on what we desire to create, and focus on the beauty and the wholeness, the unity, the harmony, the purity, the connection, then we will start to create these shifts. And so it's really about feeding the correct wolf. And we want to stop as a society collectively feeding the wolf of doom and gloom and thinking there's, nothing we can do. And one of the things in the movie that I thought was such a great point made was that a lot of the humans in the film, he said, had given up on the planet. They'd given up on humanity, and they just thought, "What's the point? It's all going to hell." And so a lot of the humans just gave up. And so he's like, basically, you give up because that asks nothing of you. If you give up, there's nothing for you to do. But to actually be a dreamer and to actually focus on love and to focus on what you desire, even if it's not here yet, that requires everything from us. And so it's really having the courage to show up in our life and to focus on what we really want to create instead of thinking there's no hope and just, complaining about all the things that are wrong. And that's feeding the wrong wolf. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense to me, and that's particularly why I chose to do this like I did instead of, well, a lot of people know this was inspired into action by a suicide by someone I love very closely. I know this would not have saved her, but the idea was born long before the suicide, and I thought maybe we could try a different kind of memorial. Most memorials you go to, it's all crying and sadness, and you just multiply the negativity. Anytime you try to change things in this world, you're arguing, you multiply the negativity. The world has so many negatives. They have so many memorials. It's time to try something different. So we're at a time in human history where it's actually possible. We can communicate with around the world and set something up like this quickly, easily, and the world can have fun and unite. And it's time. It's time.
Absolutely.
You look at prophecy and things like that. A lot of people believe in it. The doom and gloom is getting heavy and ugly about this year coming. So why not throw a little love in now before it gets too late, Let's save this world and make it a better place for our children instead of giving them something worse. Let's give them something better. For the first time in human history, let's make the world we want our children to live in. And the first thing we got to do before we can really fix this place is we got to come together. We got to realize that we're the same beings. We all feel the same love. We need the same love from each other to sustain our lives. And before we can fix all these little details, we got to fix the big picture. And the big picture is we're far too separated for that. We need to come together before we can fix this world. And it's time to come together. And this event is a chance, is just a stab in the dark. Take a chance at that.
See, we need to play the Beatles song, Come Together.
I love y'all for supporting it, man. I could never imagine. I never dreamt that I would get the response I've got. It's overwhelming. this has healed me from the pain of that suicide more than anything else I could have ever done. I am changed. I am connected now like I've never been before. And I know if we can really make this impactful, it can work out the same for the rest of the world, or people who are involved. Yeah.
Well, and what's so beautiful is, like, you know, Doug and I chatted about what had happened with someone they truly cared for. It was your stepdaughter, correct?
Yes, it was.
Yes. His stepdaughter had committed suicide, and I had a father who committed suicide, and we both talked about that and like how what we observed from it and how people can be, you know, react to those things. But I think what's beautiful is that you're choosing to focus on the love, and that's really powerful that you're choosing that. And then to, you know, inspire others to look at that as well. That's something really beautiful. And really, all we can do is lead by example. And then others that are ready for that same shift, they're going to jump on board because they're like, yeah, that makes sense. That would be so much more beautiful. And I feel better. Like, I feel good all the time. And I'm constantly saying how much I love my life, like on Facebook, when I just look at my days. And it's really because I'm focusing on how much I have, all the gratitude, all the goodness. But there's days, like, as a human, when I've looked at the problems and I've looked at what's wrong, those days I don't feel as good. And really, we're all learning that we choose where we focus. No one else chooses that for us. So, like what Doug's doing is he's had a huge test come along that could have totally caused him to focus on everything to hate and to be angry about, but instead he's focusing on the love. And I really feel his stepdaughter's spirit is really there inspiring this and to bring humanity together and help. You know, I think a lot of souls, like I sensed with her, they're very sensitive and connected and maybe don't always feel like they are understood on this planet. And I think there's a lot of these younger children and younger souls that are struggling on this planet right now because there's things that aren't really in the alignment that they would like it to be. But we basically need to start tuning in and honoring them and listening to the dreamers. Like, stop shaming and heckling the dreamers, because the dreamers are the ones that are here to help us create new. And sometimes we will, you know, society can think they're weird and try to ostracize them as being strange. But those are the souls you should really pay attention to that are coming in to ignite change.
You know, that's exactly right. And you think about it. I had no idea the reaction I was going to get from this idea. I no clue. And what blew me away was the anger I got back. But all I could think of, and luckily I had Sierra helping me the whole time. She is a godsend in so many ways. But luckily I just realized I can't change those people, and their anger isn't always their fault. It's because they're stuck. And there's so much fear in us about changing our ideas. Because if we change our ideas, it means we were wrong.
Yes. And it's like, damn, I want to cling to that belief system even though it's kicking my butt.
Yeah, and you know, before I actually put the idea out, I talked to a lot of people because I was really affected by the suicide more than I ever expected. And I started talking to people that are really close to me, very frank conversations about suicide. I had no idea how prevalent that was in our society, and the causes are so numerous. It boggles the mind, and it's disgusting. And just trying to fix one doesn't do any good. Yeah. You gotta fix all. So this is the best.
I think a lot of it's shifting how we look at life. Like, if we're looking at life, like in suicide, when there's someone struggling in depression, and I've done some past shows on that. Like, if we're depressed, we're identifying ourselves with sadness, and we're looking at there's no hope, there's no way out, and we're kind of energetically putting ourselves in a dark room, and we're doing that to ourselves. And so part of it is, if we sense a human's doing that, we can do our best to help them turn towards the light and look for the joy. But really, we can't make them do anything. All we can do is we can choose that for ourselves and lead by example. Does that make sense?
Remember, it makes a lot of sense, but we still got to remember there is still true mental illness involved here. And that, only thing we can hope for is that we can make the love in the world shine so brightly that they can see through the fog of mental illness and see that beacon out there. That's the only thing we can do for anybody suffering from mental illness as a mass of humanity, other than support them individually. But so yes, there's people who go down a dark pigeonhole. I myself have been prone to what I've called melancholy. But there's also those that suffer from true mental disease. And this is the only way I could think of that would really maybe help all of them. And that's what I want my stepdaughter's legacy to be. I prefer to not say her name because her mother asked me not to. So.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yes. I totally get it. And what's that?
It's a sad subject. That's why I made the memorial to her this loving event instead of having a conversation about mental illness and suicide, because there's been many and multiple.
Yes. Yes. And I think, as an intuitive healer, from what I've been shown spiritually on disease and, any kind of disease or death, how people get so upset about abortion. Like, we have so many ideas as a society of what's right and wrong, but from more like a shamanic view, like Native American view, an angelic view, it's really everything's happening for a reason, and everything is happening to help bring greater awareness and greater alignment. And so if we really look at everything as being a gift, then we can actually lean in and learn from any pain that comes to us. But I think that, it's important that we learn to feel whatever emotions are coming up and allow them. But then it's important that we also don't identify ourselves with that emotion and see it more as an energy that we're feeling rather than I am depressed. And that's really affirming your alignment with that energy. And so the more society can start to shift and understand their own spiritual alignment, I feel it's going to shift so much on the planet. But like you were saying, a lot of people that whoever lashed out at you, and I've been lashed out at as well for being happy and positive, and I just send love to them and realize it's really the person that's doing that. They're having their own battle and they're angry, and it's just spilling over at you. So it's important not to take that personal. But
it's hard, though. It's hard. It's hard if you have the thick enough skin.
Yeah,
we all
and I
have
think that's
different
something
words
that you can learn.
use.
Sorry, we're kind of crisscrossing. What'd you say?
I'd say we all have different words we use, and that confuses things. We, in our hearts, we're really saying the same thing, but we get lost in the definitions of these little words and the semantics that we don't see each other, and it saddens me in a lot of ways. And I imagine, because just as a funny thing, I got one place I sent it to. I got, what is this hippy dippy BS? And this guy was pissed, man.
Yeah. Well, and that's where you realize, those people, they're angry anyways, and they're just like, how dare you bring light to me,
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I can't help them right now. Hopefully the rest of us getting together and actually showing them that love matters and love works will drag them along with us, kicking and screaming if we have to, but we'll show them it works if we can do this right and make this a big enough event that it really is impactful.
And that's the key. It's really all the global shift leaders that are here, and I say that word meaning all the ones that have come to be the teachers and the light workers, and they're here to ignite love, embody love, and teach love in action. All of these souls, they came to a planet where there was a lot of darkness, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of corruption and manipulation, and just, fear, the lack of love. But love is everywhere, and so we have to just remember that I feel like this is what's helped my own soul, is if you feel like you need to save everybody, you're going to get your butt kicked. But if you realize that you have a power to embody the light that you are and to teach it through your own example, the ones who are wanting that and ready, they will come to you. And the ones who don't, just keep rising because they're not ready. And it's really a consciousness thing. There's different layers of consciousness and the evolution of that. And if we're trying to project control that you need to wake up and be happy, in a sense, we start to drop our energy and go into that vibration when we get frustrated with them. But if we can just love everyone unconditionally, and that means healthy boundaries. Sometimes that means we have people that we take off of our public wall if they're ranting and raving. Sometimes it means we don't go hang out with certain family members if they're disrespectful and abusive, but we still can love them unconditionally. And I think that what's the key to any change that the global ship leaders are here to create is to keep our laser beam focus on our destination and on the alignment of love. And don't waver, don't get afraid, don't worry about the ones who heckle you and shame you, because that's kind of what, I mean, I really look at the example of Christ. I'm not religious and I don't project any kind of religion. I'm trying to make anybody become a Christian or anything. But I feel like the human Christ was very aligned and very aware. And if you look at his life, he did all he could to serve humanity and to help wake them up and to help them heal, to help them realize how powerful they are, how connected they are, and how united they are. And in the end, they betrayed him, they shamed him, they crucified him, and publicly humiliated him. And at the end, he looked out at them and said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." And his consciousness understood that I know I came here with great love and light and only a desire to serve. But at the end, he still forgave them as he was moving into the next ascension process because the consciousness wasn't ready for what he was bringing. And so I feel like if we can all keep our laser beam focus on the love and the alignment, we're going to have a lot of success. But you've got to be really mindful that you don't lose your focus because someone heckles you or shames you, because that's kind of like the initiations we have to pass so we can really unite and rise. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense to me. I don't, I'm not a religious person per se because of the harm and the horrors done in the name of religion. I just can't believe of love would condone that. But I always believe that Jesus is the perfect example of how we should treat each other and live our lives.
Yes.
Now, have I lived that way? No, I'm a very fallible individual, and I've had my issues. But I know now, especially with this awakening I've been through here recently, I know that this world's going to fall apart unless we start doing something. And that's the best example we got. So we need to rally around the idea of love, because that's what Jesus represents.
Yes.
And we rally around the idea of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. We rally around the idea that love is one, where it will be one. And that's a simple universal concept we can all get behind.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's just sometimes there's a little delay, and then I'm like, oh, he's talking. So.
Yeah, my computer's really bad, so I'm not watching you. I'm just talking. So
no
I
problem.
can't. My computer's like way behind.
Oh, no problem.
I feel
like a lot of people talking about, like, in religion, like a return of Christ or the Messiah or whatever, is really, from my perspective, is what's happening on the planet right now is there is a returning, and it's the Christ consciousness, or AKA unity consciousness. And unity consciousness is, I think, what's so beautiful about the water and how my angels were guiding me to heal it, and they were guiding you to do this as well, is that water is something every living being, every living thing needs, whether it's a plant, an animal, a human, it doesn't matter. Water unites us, and we all need it, and we all need it to be pure, and we all need it to be healthy and sanitary. And so when we look at that, we're all drinking from the same lifeblood of the planet. And if we want to have issues and racism and prejudices, it's all BS, because in truth, we all bleed the same, and we all need to drink that water. And we're all living beings, and it's time for us to realize that and unite and stop hating each other because somebody dresses different, or they go to a different church, or they don't go to church, or they're in, love certain person and not that person, or a different colored person. It's so ridiculous. And it's really time for us to let all that control go and to really unite and just really love and honor each other and really love and honor our planet. Because a lot of us, a lot of corporations that are not being very mindful of things are destroying the waters, and that water being polluted will affect all of us. And so we really need to set this intention, not just for the purity of physical water, but for what it represents, the connection that we all share with it.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the beautiful things about this idea in its pure, simple, organic form, is that awareness about the water will just naturally be heightened. Because we're focusing on using water as our conduit, people are going to consider water more. They're going to think about it. They're going to see the dirty. They're going to want it clean. So it's not only is this going to help the people we spoke about earlier, but it's also going to help so many other ways. And we need to start cleaning this place up, or we're going to really be in a lot of trouble. So why not do something that helps everything in its way? Because when everybody starts showing the love in their heart in their way, everything will get fixed. Because everybody will focus on what matters most to them. And collectively we'll be like ants building a new colony. We will make this world a better place. But first we got to connect.
And it's going to require everyone's dedication and everyone showing up. And no one anymore making excuses like, it's okay if I pollute this water because it's just my yard, or it's just this little bit of water, or it's okay if I'm hateful to that person. No, it's really not. And it's really time for us to start being accountable and having integrity and dedication to, like you said, building that new colony, that new earth through that unification. So I drew a card today, which was actually perfect. I have these goddess cards, and this one is Coventina, and I'll show a picture of it. And she is actually a goddess that's represented to connecting with the water. And I'm not trying to tell anyone to believe in goddesses either. It's a symbol. It's just the energy, if you can think of it as a symbol for purification. But in this card, it says, it is time for a cleansing detoxification of body and mind. I would say body, mind, spirit. It says, this is a message comes as help and not as an effort or a criticism. Your vessel has become clogged by overuse of harsh chemicals, and the offending source is within your psyche. You've been ignoring your body's many signals and screams for relief from the steady ingestion of impurities. Perhaps you've also noticed a slump in your energy level, and your degree of joy has lagged as well. Never mind these past effects, though, as the solution is right at hand. Now that you've heard this message, do not hesitate for a moment to make new arrangements. You'll want to keep sharp focus on the contents of your mind and your speech as well, for the words you think and the words you speak are the very diet that supports or thwarts you. Choose purity, and I promise you a changed outlook for the better. The additional meanings are: follow your intuition's guidance, stop abusing alcohol or drugs, avoid processed foods such as sugar, white flour, and so on. Perhaps eating more organic foods, keeping your thoughts and speech positive, adopt a vegetarian or vegan diet, and go on a fast or a detox. It says this card can also be validation that your current healthful plan is working well. And about Coventina, is she's a powerful Celtic goddess of the waters, including the oceans, lakes, streams, ponds, and rivers. Coventina protects bodies of water and their inhabitants, and she's happy to give you a divine assignment related to environmentalism. If you ask her, wishing wells were made in her honor, and today we continue to practice of throwing coins into water while making a wish. It's Coventina who grants these wishes. Since our bodies are primarily made up of water, she's very involved with helping us purify our physical selves. She reminds us of the purification also means keeping our thoughts and speech filled with positive words which empower and strengthen our bodies and our lives. So I thought that was pretty awesome card in connection with what we're talking about today, and how really everything we're creating, it starts with our thoughts. And so when we're setting an intention to touch physical water and send love and light, like I'm trying to remember, his name was Emoto or something, the Japanese man who had done Dr. Emoto.
Yeah, Emoto.
Yeah, and he had taken pictures of like speaking love into water and freezing it, and it was beautiful fractals, and then putting like hateful energy into the water as it froze, and it was all disrupted and disorganized. And I feel like he was just kind of showing something visually. But if we can realize that this is part of the science that we've been calling for, so that we can believe in the spirituality, which is just energy has a direction. And when we set an intention with our energy, it really creates a vibration. And so if we're all coming to the bodies of water with love and purity and an intention to awaken consciousness and to help heal the planet, that's going to be powerful, because those intentions go somewhere. And then what we think about every day, a lot of us, we're not very conscious of our thoughts. As a healer, I'm constantly working with clients and helping them catch their unconscious parts of their minds, the unconscious thoughts where maybe they look all smiley with their friends, but in their dialogue inside, they're like, I suck, I'll never be good enough. And they're thinking these low vibrational thoughts. And that is really not going to help them be empowered leaders, because they're constantly degrading themselves. So we got to look at, it starts really within. We need to heal within. We need to come into our own alignment here. And from this alignment, we'll feel empowered and confident and connected to start serving in a bigger way. And so I think that it's all very important.
And that's another thing there that's beautiful. You just said what quantum physics would say in a completely different way. Mm-hmm. But it's all exactly the same. Everything is a frequency. What we think is a frequency. What we say is a frequency. We are a frequency.
We are. Crystals are frequencies.
Yep. Everything is a frequency. And when you get into the crazy weirdness of quantum physics, it gets into how water's connected and how we are everywhere but nowhere at the same time, and all this neat stuff that really proves through a scientific way that everything you just said is true. And that's the neat thing about it. This idea works for people who see things in a fanciful way like you do, in a beautiful, flowery, sunshine way. But it also works for a guy who's stuck there in his cube, only believes in science. He can actually still get behind this too. That's what I love about this idea. My friend and I, when we came up with it, we were just dreaming. And he was not really happy I tried to push it, because he doesn't want anybody to know that he has anything to do with it. But it's a beautiful idea in its organic sense, and it will work. It will work. That's the neatest thing about it.
Yes, we have to, like, when we're looking at quantum physics, and one of the things I just was having a conversation with a guy recently is how basically everything is energy and vibration. And what's going to be really beautiful to help humanity shift and evolve so swiftly is when everyone really starts to honor the fact that science and spirituality are the same. And when we can acknowledge both aspects, it's kind of like the yin and the yang. If we're just saying only yang exists and we deny the yin, we have imbalance. Or vice versa. If we're very spiritually focused and we're, in this energy, but we're denying the scientific aspect, we're out of balance. So really, when science and spirituality come together, that in essence is unity consciousness happening. And that's when we understand that everything is vibrational, everything is energy. And so if everything's energy, and I can feel when I walk, this is where, like in the empath classes I teach, I'll talk to empaths and say, when you walk into a room and you just feel the vibe in the room, you can feel if people really are sending energy of love and support, or if they're kind of hating you. And we don't have to say anything. We really are very vibrational creatures, and we're animals. And so just like an animal can sense danger, humans have this ability. But what's happened is so many of us have tuned it out. We've just gone numb, and we don't want to tune in and listen. And we basically disregard vibration. And vibrational alignment is everything. If you're struggling with your money and you're talking about being poor and broke all the time, and you're thinking about it and you're thinking you're not worthy, you're vibrationally creating that experience. It matters. Like, vibrational alignment is so powerful and important in everyone's life.
Well, life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whatever you think will be. And I'm a perfect example of that. Sierra and I had a great conversation a couple weeks ago when I was younger, I'd look at people like James Dean or something, the brooding kind of stranger, quiet in the corner, and I thought that was me. I kind of turned out to be that guy. You know, I'm kind of a loner and I stay in the corner, but there's a second side to that life I didn't consider. To be the stranger, you got to be unknown, which means you're alone. You know, so I created a life that is generally a relatively solitary life, because that's the life I planned for myself as a child. Now, since that conversation with Sierra, my whole perspective has changed. I choose to not live in fear anymore. I choose to voice my opinion as long as it's truly heartfelt and doesn't hurt anybody. You know, I choose a different life than the one I've led up till this day.
That's awesome. And you choose. You're choosing it. That's what's so beautiful.
Well, we all have thoughts. Everything passes through our mind. The most horrible thoughts will pass through all of our mind. The difference is we choose how we deal with those thoughts. We can either say, "Go away, thought, I don't want you," or we can entertain those thoughts, like you were talking about the wolf.
Just allow it.
That's kind of way of saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of sticking to a simple idea, is we won't get lost in semantics. But you're right, the world is coming together, and there's a consciousness grid that's getting wakened up around the world for all human beings, and we can spark it to life with a critical mass of humans. We don't need everybody to drag the rest along with us, but we do need a lot. So
yes, I mean, anybody that wants to focus on love for a few minutes, come on in.
What does it hurt, man? Go have fun with your family and joke around and play. Get goofy with it. Dance around in the rain. I mean, I put the joke about stick your fingers in a Dixie cup just to make people realize it's really just that easy. If you're at work, just think about love and gratitude. Thank the water while you're drinking it. I mean, you can be involved in every time you interact with water, actually.
Yes, you can. Absolutely. And that's every day, because every day we're interacting with water.
Yeah, we are water.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I really wish, I don't know, I don't want to take all your time. I know you got your things you want to do. So should I let you go so you can talk your show?
Well, we can finish up here in a minute, and then what I was going to do is actually lead a guided meditation for everyone, and we're going to do some planet healing today together with anyone who's tuning in.
Awesome. That's great. I like that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you hang up, just if you can turn the audio back on where you are and just listen and tune in, and you can join us.
I will, definitely. And let me just say thank you so much. There's no way this crazy old man would have been able to dream this dream if it wasn't for people like you. And I really appreciate it. And my healing is almost complete because of people like you. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening.
Yes, and thank you for sharing this as well, and for all that you're doing. I think every soul out there that's doing their part to make a change, like, don't lose faith, don't lose hope. Your contribution matters. So just keep contributing, keep holding that focus on love. And like what Doug and I were doing this interview is to encourage and invite everyone on Thursday, this coming Thursday, to go and connect with the water. But what I would encourage is, let's do that on Thursday. Let's put that in your phone right now, in your scheduler and your little planner, and just take some moments of meditating time or go to actual bodies of water. But let's, like Doug said, be conscious of that every time we connect with water. When we take a shower, be grateful for it. I just recently pledged a family in Africa and Sierra Leone to help them with food and things. And one of the things that I'm going to do soon is to get a page on Facebook going for people who want to donate to raising money to get a well in the community. And think of people like that. When you're in your shower, feel gratitude for that water that's cleaning your body. Feel gratitude for that water that you're drinking. And maybe we often take it for granted. And there's people on the planet that actually need help getting water. Like, they spend hours of their day just walking to get some water. And so this could maybe ignite a lot of heartfelt action to reach out and help others who are in need of the most basic thing, which is pure water. So I encourage everyone to connect, and just have love and join us on Thursday and every day with this intention. Sound good, Doug? Is he gone?
Yes,
Anton?
he's gone. Yes, he's gone.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to read a card that I drew. It's a healing crystal card from my liquid crystal oracle, and it's the Boji stone. And this is what the card looks like. I'm always trying to get it right in the screen. There you go. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to read this to you, and then we'll just do a little guided meditation.
Before you do that,
Yes.
do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Tap on your microphone once. A couple more times. Okay, Mike was right. This is not the right mic. The mic is... Never mind. Keep going.
Okay. Is it sounding okay?
It's fine. Yes, keep going.
All right. Okay, so Boji stone represents balance, alignment, and clarity. The master crystal Deva Urita. Just as the sky receives the sun and the day is born, I have come to rise in your heart and open the door of rebirth. Step into my white purity and hold the rose. I will unite the healing paths within you, a step to freedom. Feel the tears of immortal life fall as crystals to the earth. Let them burden you no more. Sink deep into the earth and feel the loving touch caress you. Allow her breath and pulse to become your own as you integrate the loving stability. This is the movement of the physical body into ascension that I represent. I deliver and activate Earth's ascended frequency, and I will balance, clear, cleanse, and align you. Take my hand. Wear my blessing for the world to see. In glorious service it will shine, and our mutual work will turn to stone, permanently living through the ages. Choose now the only path available to you, your intention to live as perfection. And I think that's so beautiful because I just taught this workshop Saturday, the Empowering the Empath, and it was all about reuniting with our divinity and claiming our divinity. Like Christ, we take our wand and we're like, that is going to change. We are going to heal this. I'm calling forth this miracle. And it's like leaving this place where we've been taught that we're separate from our source energy or God or whatever we've been taught, and coming to this place of alignment with our divinity where we command the universe to work in our favor. We command nature to assist us with healing and purification. There's so many times I've commanded nature to bring in water, to put out fires, or to help just make people happy at Disneyland to turn the water off. And it doesn't need to be even this deep, important thing. It could just be your heart feels, you know what would really be helpful is if this was happening. Let me call in and conjure all the forces of nature to assist with that. And that is not being arrogant or egoic. That is being confidently aligned with your source. That is Christ consciousness. That is something that we need to get comfortable with. Is I think so many people are so comfortably uncomfortable with their smallness that they actually will shame and mock the ones who walk with confidence and who walk with such alignment with their source. And this is something that's going to serve us to shift. So this crystal, the Boji stone, I feel is like a beautiful representation of the similar vibration of like what the angels and I are helping with in auric clearings. We're helping clear, cleanse, and purify all the cellular memory. And all that stuff stored in our brain, it's like a computer with old software and old programs, and we're just regurgitating the same program. It's all memory. But what needs to happen for us to really create new is we have to open the moonroof of the mind and let new consciousness, higher consciousness stream in so that we can create change. We have to get out of our head. We have to get out of our minds. We have to go out of our minds and literally let go of all the belief systems that limit us and get into the heart and connect with the heart. That heart tells you so much wisdom. It tells you, you can make a difference here, help this person. And we either listen to that or we justify why they're not worthy because our mind says something. And so I encourage you to connect on that. Let's see, what else does it say here on the Boji stone? It says, if Boji has come to you today, you are in need of some downtime. You have allowed yourself to lose some of the building blocks of a healthy, balanced state. In the coming days, as the frequency of Boji rises around the body, healing will result and changes will occur. So let's think of this as our physical body, but our intention today is we're going to touch the water, the bodies of the water, and the planet is a body. And we are going to set that intention, and it is saying here, healing will result and changes will occur. trust in every bit of your certainty and your divinity, your oneness, and your right for a beautiful planet, that we can make this happen. Absolutely, we can, and we will, and we are. So don't even let any thoughts come in of, oh, this is crap, this is woo woo. No, it is absolutely powerful intention, and we have the right and the divine, assignment of realigning and reconnecting with our divinity. Let's see. The affirmation is, the earth is my healer. And so I feel like since we're actually sending love and healing to the earth, think of the affirmation of that, the earth is my healer. We need the planet to thrive and to be healthy for us to thrive and be healthy. We're ignorant and insane if we think we're going to destroy and pollute the planet, and then what? And it's not going to be worth it to get a bunch of bars of gold at the end. I just watched this movie. Oh, what's it called? It was some like submarine movie. Totally tense film. I don't know if I'd encourage watching it, but these people go down to get like a bunch of gold from the bottom from an old Russian submarine. But the whole point is like all this stuff happens and they basically destroy each other. They destroy the very vessel that's carrying them because of their greed over this gold. And I just saw the symbolism of that, the metaphor of, as humanity, if we're destroying the very vessel that's holding us and protecting us and healing us because we want more gold, we are insane. And that's something that we can change. I think that is mental instability at its core. We need to get back to that balance, and we need to go and connect with nature. We need to feel gratitude for her. We need to feel honor for the bodies of water, the trees, the animals, and each other, and start showing up with honor and showing up with our power and conjure and call in the power of the universe to work for you. Stop playing small and stop thinking that the life is out to get you and that, the universe hates you. It is not true. It is your own inner dialogue. You are creating that experience, and we can shift that. But we have to leave the old, comfortably uncomfortable land of fear and smallness, and we have to step in to our empowerment and our light and become one with our divinity again. That is ascension in a nutshell. So we've got a few minutes here. I'm going to take a little break. And is there any questions or anything coming in, Amnon, before we do a little meditation?
There are no questions. There's a lot of comments. I'm not going to even start.
Okay, are they all nice?
They are all nice.
I know, I'm just kidding. Okay, well, I'm sending love to all of you. As long as there's no haters out there, I'm like, come on. So sending love to all of you, and thank you all that are tuning in. I put a little thing on there too. If you guys want to support our show and help us out, Amnon and I have been doing this for about 1.5 years, completely from the heart. And any donations you guys can send in, I put the PayPal information there. Just mark it that it's for the Tawnya Love Show. We would be so grateful for, because it helps us to keep doing what we love. So if you want to take a chance to write that down or copy it, go for it. So let's go ahead, and we're all going to get comfortable. And I've just got about 5-6 minutes here. But we'll go ahead and sit somewhere where you're comfortable. If you're in your car, do not close your eyes. That's not a good idea. But if you're at home and you're relaxed, go ahead and lay back or sit back. Get your body nice and tall. And just close your eyes and start to connect with your breath. So we're just going to connect with our breath and just be aware of that breath. And maybe this is the first time today we've even acknowledged it, like, oh, there you are, breath. And as we exhale, set the intention to release tension. So scan through your body and notice if you're tense, if your shoulders are tight, if your jaw is clasped, and just take a little breath and relax those shoulders, relax your jaw, relax the gaze. I'm just taking a little journey inward and just feel the energy there. Just be present in the heart center. Tune in and feel the energy of your heart. And with your breath, as you exhale, release and let go of any tension you're holding around the heart, any guardedness. If we have any anger or unforgiveness, just being aware of it. And as we breathe in, drawing in love and healing light to open our hearts more, to purify our hearts, to help us to live in the heart rather than be stuck in our head. And feel the heart energy expanding out beyond your auric field, beyond that bubble or aura around your physical body. And feel this light igniting and glowing with love and vibration. Visualize at the crown above your head a beautiful violet white light, expansive and opening up the crown. What I see is visually opening up the moonroof of the mind to receive higher consciousness and support. And just setting that intention to open ourselves to connect with divinity. To remember that we're not separate, we're not alone, we're not somewhere far away from our source, we're right here connecting with it. And breathe that energy, that violet light. Feel it streaming down through the crown, through the third eye, purifying and activating these energy centers, opening them to receive and connect. Breathing out any fear. Calling our angels and our guides to surround us with love, light, and support. To help us remember our power. To remember our worth and our divinity. And just let any emotions arise that may be there, let them be felt and acknowledged. And allow any tears to be shed without shame. Just let them fall, purifying the earth. And as we draw that energy down further through the throat chakra, purifying the throat to speak boldly and confidently, to tell the world what we know, to share our medicine, our magic, and to clear any fears of being heard, clear away any fears that others won't accept us. And feel your oneness with Source. Let that vast consciousness stream through you easily and effortlessly. And drawing our energy back down to the heart center, connecting the heart and the mind in a beautiful infinity symbol of light. The mind and the heart operating as one, working in harmony in co-creation. And coming and resting every day in meditation and tune into the heart's knowing and listen to our inner alignment of what we're here to co-create. Consciously creating from our love and from our light. And allow the intellect to assist with that rather than fearfully, frantically creating from our egoic, fearful energy, our disconnection with our source, but rather creating from that infinite power, from that light and love that we are. And I want you to visualize this light expanding from your heart center out and visualize the planet in front of you. You can imagine holding the planet in your hands if you want to place your hands out in front of you. And just surround the planet with love and light. Send it from your heart center. It's channeling from source energy down into the crown and out the heart. It's calling in clarity and protection, purification of all the bodies of water, clearing and releasing all the fearful energy of the collective consciousness, and calling in a great cleansing across the planet. Feel all the other souls tune in vibrationally to all the souls joining you in this vibrational shift. All of the beautiful souls that you are one with, assisting with the same healing and purification. Visualize all this lower vibrational energy of fear and old consciousness like a program being lifted off the planet Earth, being lifted out and sent to realms of different realms for rehabilitation and shifts, sending it out into the universe, releasing it with love and light and appreciation for all that we've learned. And as we breathe in, calling in and channeling, anchoring in this new light, this new vibration, higher frequencies of unity consciousness, like a new computer program being uploaded into the earth, to the collective consciousness. And visualize all those connecting points igniting and aligning and activating. Feel them activating on a planetary level as well as within your own beautiful body and light vessel. And feel your oneness with this planet. Feel your energy anchored towards the earth from the feet, grounding your energy like a beautiful column of light flowing all the way down your energy centers to the earth, magnetically connecting you to the earth. And feel that love and light streaming into the depths of the earth, to the core, activating the crystalline energy there. And know that you are activating this crystalline energy within yourself, becoming the embodiment of the Christ consciousness, the unity consciousness. Feel that love and light streaming through all the cells of your body and being, through your veins, your lifeblood, purifying you, healing you, and raising you in vibration to wholeness. Know that you're worthy of this without any work or hardness or fear. Claim it. Claim your wholeness and your oneness. And just feel that love and light expanding out to all humanity, all living creatures, all the animals, all the plants and the trees, the earth, the atmosphere, the auric field around the planet being purified. Feel the auric field being patched up and healed and repaired wherever there is openings and where we're losing the atmosphere, we're losing that life force and that energy. Just feel the earth surrounded in wholeness and protection and light, vibrating at a higher frequency from your love and from your assistance today. And know that you're that powerful. And take a moment to just feel gratitude for all that you've gone through to bring you here today. And remembering you have a choice of where you put your focus, every thought, every moment, every action. We can choose love. We can be love. And just slowly feel your energy anchoring down and wiggle your fingers and your toes. Feel connected with the physical body again. And surround the planet with love and light as you release this energy back to the light. As we let go and trust that our love and our intention have powerfully created change. Just slowly open your eyes and come back into the now, into this moment, into your room around you. And just notice the sense of inner peace you feel, that deep love you feel inside. And remember, this is who you are in truth. I encourage all of you to connect here daily. Anytime you feel fear coming in, that old familiar nudge to go and play small, I encourage you to connect and quiet your energy, quiet your mind, and come back and connect with your divinity. I hope you all have a beautiful and blessed day. And thank you so much for joining us. Join us this Thursday with our Touch the Water intention, and join us every day with healing, love, and alignments. Blessings and namaste, humanity.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCBVI members, The Tawnya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.